So for my response to Sam Harris's video, I thought I'd just record a quick video and my response to the questions. I thought it was very interesting, my family's answers to the questions, considering all four of us agreed that this is one of the most confusing videos ever. I just want to start off by saying that, I'll just say that it was one of the most confusing videos that all four of us had seen, because we couldn't really actually see when he made his point. So when it comes to the question, what is your response to his overall argument that science can and should be an authority on moral issues, my answer is no. Science should not be an authority on moral issues. I think if he took out the word authority and changed it to science can influence moral issues, that might be a little bit better. But to me, science is very black and white, yes or no, left side of the brain, and morality and values, that's a gray area. Well, there's clearly times where there's a right way and a wrong way, or a right answer and a wrong answer. There's many times where there's no clear right or wrong answer, and that you're in that gray space as to what's moral. So it's the next question, can we have a universal concept of values, and if what would they look like given cultural differences? So again, I agree with my family, no, we can't have a universal concept of values. There's too many cultural differences, there's too many different values and morals out there that vary from culture to culture, that it wouldn't ever work. For example, with the burqas, there's even within the Muslim religion, there are countries where women are forced to wear the burqas when they're out in public, and there are countries where it's not law for women to wear the burqas out in public, but they choose to because modesty is one of the values within their religion, and so they choose to wear it. So I think just having those differences within even one culture or religion on its own, how would you come up with a universal concept of values across numerous thousands of cultures and religions? It wouldn't work. Third question, since some areas of the brain can't be accessed by everyone, can we have universal morals? So it's funny, my dad always says that, like I said, that the brain is a muscle. I've been hearing this my whole life. And while that is true, I disagree with him saying that if you just work hard enough to learn something, you could get your PhD in anything. You just have to work your brain hard enough, work it out like any other muscle, and you'd be able to accomplish anything in any area of the brain. And that's just not true, because, like I said, all three of my family members have their PhDs in chemistry, and I have my undergrad degree in economics, and while I'm good with numbers, I'm terrible at science. I'm good at the social science and the behavioral science, but would never be able to just study chemistry and get a PhD. So I don't think that everyone can access every area of the brain. I think that there's areas of the brain that none of us can access that are subconscious, but then there's different areas of the brain that some people use on a regular basis, and some people that might use that same area of the brain very rarely. So taking that into account, again, we wouldn't be able to come up with a universal concept of morals. Finally, when looking at my own personal values and morals, I really liked my family's responses. I know that I said my dad doesn't always practice what he preaches, essentially, but I think his intentions are good. I thought it was very interesting what my sister said about honesty, given um, her job. You know, she has to, everything she reports has to be honest. She's always gathering data. So it's a big, plays into her job a lot. And with my mom's response, she was almost getting a little emotional talking about it. She really thinks that everyone should just be treated the same, like I said, with a few exceptions in there, and really believes that we're all human beings and we're all on the same level, and there's no reason that someone should be treated better or worse than anyone else. And when my mom said something along those lines a couple years ago, I started to try to incorporate that into my life. So when I'm having a bad day and I'm in a bad mood, and I'm at the grocery store checking out, and the grocery store near me is terrible, there's always 4 registers open, and the line's all the way down the aisle and takes you 30 minutes to check out. By the time I get up to the register, I'm not in a great mood. But I still treat the cashier with kindness. You know, she's got a long shift probably, standing on her feet all day. Who wants to work at Star Market, you know? So I try to, I treat her with respect, try to have a conversation, or just like joke around a little bit or something. Just maybe try to make her day better. But for me, I guess one of my biggest values in my life is integrity. And that just is something that comes up a lot in my job, operating with integrity. And I think that means, for me, you might not always do everything right. And you might occasionally make the wrong choice, whether you consciously made the wrong choice or unintentionally made the wrong choice. But for me, as long as you own up to it, and you take responsibility for your actions, whether they were right or wrong, then that's the most important piece of it for me. So those are my answers to the 4 questions. And I guess I'll just end by saying one quick note about the video. I really don't think that Harris made his point. Once again, he started off with this notion that science canon should be an authority on moral issues. However, he never really brought it back around and proved that point, or at least that's what I thought, and what my 3 interviewees thought. So, well, I thought it was an interesting assignment, and it was interesting to hear the answers from my family members. I thought his speech was absolutely terrible. So that was my comment on that.